Hello everybody, it's the Almighty Slayer here, and today we will talk about a little bit about the opposite team of Dead by Daylight, which is Survivor. Now, before you guys go in the comments and say you don't know anything about like Survivor and you never played it, well, like I actually have played Survivor, and I'm gonna be honest with you, like it's extremely boring because all you fucking do is just stay on the generator and just like literally like do nothing and hit like spacebar occasionally, and like that's not even fun. Or doing the same loops until you get fucking destroyed. And but this is why I'm making this video. So let's get to the first thing, and that is the perks. All right, so you get perks like well, let's name one of them right now, like Dead Hard or Windows. And like this is like really ridiculous because I used AI to ask like how many survivor perks there are, and AI said that there's 170 perks plus for survivor. And you see most of these survivor mains like use those two, for example, what I said, Dead Hard and Windows. Um, and I'm gonna say something like it's kind of ridiculous. Like almost everyone like in the game is using like the same, like pretty much the 8 meta perks or whatever, and like that's pretty much like what 2% of the game, or 2% of the perks being used right now of the 170. Like it's a little fucking, it's fucking stupid. And like there's just nothing creative, all of this is like just like recycled, and it's just boring. Because like I'm watching like videos, killers having like all these creative build ideas, and they're not even meta at all. They're like different. Like some is just like aura reading, some is like exhaustion and blindness, like that's actually like these are builds pretty much. And like Survivor is just the same old shit, and it's fucking stupid actually. um but yeah, no, Survivor is just extremely boring, and you have to rely on meta perks in order to like survive. And well, unfortunately, like they still lose to me anyways. As you can see in my videos, like most of the survivors that you see in my videos, they're running pretty much like Dead Hard and Windows, or Resilience, all the meta perks. Um, and they should really like try to implement some kind of system. Um, so like a system where the survivors can actually play and use, like for example, Dwight can use his bond and bond leader and prove thyself. Those are his main perks, and I feel like there should be a thing where they should like, or a system where he can like play those perks, so it's not meta spam and all that. Um, and but what I'm trying to say is the teachables should not be used yet. So, like, my suggestion for this is like adding a level requirement system for the teachable perks. Um, and instead of instantly like using like the perks from other characters, survivors would need to like level up that character first before they can equip perks learned from other survivors. So I'll give you like a good example. Level 1 through 10, they can, or to be honest, like really level 1 or 20, they should really use like their default 3 perks that the character has. For example, like the Dwight and Bond Prove Thyself, and his other perk, his default 3 perks, right? And then like level 20 and 30 is when he can like use one teachable perk. You see how it goes? And then 30 from 40 would be two teachables. Then level 50 would be the four teachable slots or prestige. So, and this would probably help the game a lot more because there's more build variety. So, like instead of these meta spam, players would actually use Survivor's uniques perks instead of instantly like swapping to meta builds when they're like level 1 or something, right? And then it would be better progression, believe it or not. Like leveling survivors would feel, more meaningful instead of just, grinding blood points for these perks, you know? Because you're just leveling up that one character so that the other person can have those perks. And like I don't think that would be, I think this is just a better example of how to like progress in this game. Um and then yeah, obviously I've said it multiple times, less meta spam. So not every lobby would instantly be filled with the same meta builds. And so like for example, like you would learn like, hey, this Meg Thomas is obviously going to be running, sprint burst and quick and quiet. So um something like that, so you would just know what that person will be running instead of, being bumped into all these meta spam. So, and then also I think it would just encourage like learning like the characters with their own three perks, so they could experiment more with survivors like Jeff Johansson, and then or the other survivor, Cheryl. Yeah, I'm starting to learn. I'm still. By the way, I'm just gonna say I'm still new to like Dead by Daylight, and I'm learning like all these characters' names, like from days ago, um, because I really like Dead by Daylight, but there's obviously some shit I gotta say. But yeah, survivors like those that I mentioned, Cheryl and Jeff. They should just, learn, and experiment with those perks instead of just treating a survivor as a skin. So. And then, also, for those survivors too, if they are, for example, like max level and they still want to use, like, the three same perks or, their own perks, the character's perks, they should have, like, a mastery bonus, a character mastery bonus. Like, maybe extra blood points just for still staying those three perks for that character that belongs to them. And it would probably even further encourage, like, unique builds off of that, too. So, that's my suggestion for Survivor and how it should be really used. So, but I'm gonna give you like a good example of like loser survivor mains. Um, so let's go into Firefox. So we got it's more of like looking at the perk builds here, and this is like a different like character. So you see this is Claudette, decisive, dead hard, adrenaline, Iron Will. And then we got, fuck, I forgot her name. But anyways, you'll still see the same, issues I'm talking about. Dead Hard, Iron Will, Resilience. I think, I forgot the other one. But anyways. Then we go here. This is Cheryl. And then this is what I'm talking about. Dead Hard, Windows, Adrenaline. Yeah, so like the videos I'm like clicking on, it shows like pretty much the same recycled perks, and like it's kind of ridiculous. See, there's more again. This is just the same thing. This is like every Survivor video too, which is fucking stupid. And then this guy, here, I'd probably actually beat this guy no matter what in any game. So, this guy is actually such a fucking pussy. So, but yeah. And the reason why I say that is because apparently there is such thing as comp DBD. There is not, but that's another video. But anyway, yeah, this guy is a joke. But yeah, this is an example of like survivors and why they should, you know, use their own perks and not, you know, jump into teachables. Um, but yeah, and believe it or not, these are like all survivor mains too that I went through. There's only like survivor videos for all these people, and then and you know what's funny is that one of my friends actually he went in like one of their live streams. I think it's this guy actually, believe it or not. He was complaining about the killer like tunneling and slugging or whatever, but that's just a strategy, and it's something that you gotta learn how to deal with. So, but anyway, yeah, that's what all survivor mains probably do anyway, and it's true actually because I went to just a random Twitch streamer, and it's just the same shit. They looping, they fail, and then you know, kind of complain about tunneling and all that. So, yeah, I get it. It's they just suck honestly. And for example, my videos, I've never lost, and you sometimes will see like salty endgame chats, and I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. Because you know, in reality, these people suck. And and I'm gonna say something too. Like these videos are, you know, not original either. They're all recycled. You know, trying to escape or looping and looping the same maps. And I'm like clicking through each video, and it's kind of annoying, but yeah. But yeah, for example, every video will show them like, you know, looping that shack. But you know what? They still lose anyway. So I mean, they loop to lose. So yeah. That's all I gotta say. Dead by Daylight, if you're watching this video, please consider using like the suggestion that I made. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and share with your friends, like and comment, subscribe. Thank you, bye.